Okay, good evening, Advantage members. It's Thursday, September 30th, 8:01 p.m. That means we have now successfully closed the month of September. And we now have a new candle, as you can see right there, which is the beginning of October candle. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to discuss high time frame analysis of where we are in terms of market structure. We can also dig into the low time frame level to level analysis. But more importantly, I just wanted to point out some things that we have been cautiously looking at for the last week or two in terms of the market and why we've decided to put on a hedge, because the market is in an uncertain area. It's like, especially from a high time frame basis. And I know people don't really want to accept that, but the fact of the matter is we have to accept it and we don't have a choice to not accept it. So let's dig in. On a monthly basis, here's where BTC closed. We had a high of $52,999. Excuse me. The candle opened on BTC at 47,000 in September. It went to a low of 39,500. And now what we have is a close of 43,801. Okay, which, by the way, 43,801 is a clear miss of this $45,000 level that we had talked about, stating that this was ideally the area that you want the daily to close above. Either that was yesterday's daily or today's daily. In any case, you want a daily closing above this level right here in a strong manner, not just to, dilly-dally around this level, get up here and then close back down and have this thing, be a big wick, right? So we obviously undershot that so far, but it also looks like maybe we have put in a temporary bottom here. Again, temporary, all right? We don't definitively know if this is the bottom or if we're going to just start rolling over from here and start heading back down towards these lows or lower lows, which is our $38,000 level or lower, right? We don't necessarily know that. And by the way, it's not out of the question. That's for damn sure. Now, monthly basis, okay? Very clear indication that we have now set a precedent on a lower high on the monthly basis. It is, almost undoubtedly clear that this is a clear lower high. Now, the only question is, will October give us some relief to the upside? Meaning, do we take out this key high, which was set in September of 53,000? If we do that, I would say with pretty high confidence that we're probably headed up higher. But if October struggles to get above this high and we close October lower than this September close right here, I think we're probably going to have a pretty rough fourth quarter, and it's not going to be pretty. We might even close somewhere down here around 35, maybe even, low 30s, right? Which would be either October or November or December. I don't know when. For now, though, I still remain cautiously optimistic, simply due to the fact that we just had a shitty September. And shitty Septembers are very common in BTC through its history. You could see going back 2013, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, and now 21, just really not great September months. But the other part of that is the equation of Q4 being pretty darn good for BTC, right? Especially in strong trending bull markets. Last year was a very strong trending bull market, and BTC put in a 168% return in Q4. Ethereum put in a 105% return in Q4. Those are pretty solid returns. And of course, DeFi altcoins put in massive returns last year. They even put in massive returns this year. Now, here's where things get very tricky. If we start going to ETH on a monthly basis, remember, this is a monthly chart, right? Well, guess what? You have a monthly high that was set by a pretty massive doji. You then have, however, a monthly close in August right here with a higher close, technically the highest close that we've ever had in Ethereum's history, right? So that is the only thing right now that I remain pretty positive about. And I'll tell you why. There are a lot of things happening in the Ethereum front that I personally believe most people are ignoring. For example, Arbitrum being that layer 2 bridge. We have, Matic as a layer 2. We just have so many developments for Ethereum. Even the that update that we had a couple months back, I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. All the positive impacts that have happened on ETH, it has not shown a whole lot of price appreciation. Now we can look at that two ways. One, maybe all that was baked into price, and two, maybe Ethereum is just coiling up like this and just ready to explode in Q4. And that is really my hope, my sort of solace for hoping that ETH can put in insane movements to the upside. So now here we are, right? We have Ethereum kind of with a higher close in August, but let's go down the list, okay? Here's how Luna looks on the monthly basis, okay? Not bad, right? I would actually say pretty good, but Luna had high volume or very high volume here, but here volume has tapered off with a higher high. Not really the best sign typically, right? When you have a higher high with pretty much lesser volume, this is like your volume divergence, okay? So that is where I remain a little bit cautious, but still optimistic. Step, I think Step had a pretty good, monthly candle in September, but once again, it kind of closed under the previous high of August. Again, you could see that as a swing failure pattern, because it's like a bearish pattern where you had that wick printing to the upside but unable to close above previous month's high, right? Let's check out some other altcoins. Rune. This is a clear lower high on the monthly basis on Rune. Sushi, again, very clear lower high on the monthly basis on Sushi. Ray, higher high, but failed to close lower. So again, deviation, collapses back down. Let's see, BNB, clear lower high. FLN, another lower high. Alpha, clear lower high. SRN, again, kind of similar to Ray. Whoops, a high, printed higher. But again, this is a gravestone doji candle, right? Where you print a high, fail to kind of close above previous highs, but then collapse back down. Point is, you guys can see, how things are looking kind of rough for a lot of altcoins on a monthly basis. I will say, however, that the only potential saving grace for all of this is maybe altcoins, like all these DeFi blue chips, go on a lower high multi-month consolidation like this, and BTC starts going on a tear to the upside over the next couple of months, right? Maybe next 2 or 3 months, where Bitcoin just keeps ripping and ripping. I think that's totally fair, because guess what? Altcoins have had their fun for the last couple of months, while Bitcoin has basically been in a huge range or even a huge lower high, while majority of altcoins, or technically a lot of altcoins, have put in new highs or they've just been ripping, right? So it makes sense, while dominance is bouncing from these lows right down here, and BTC price action has been in a large consolidation like this, and Bitcoin starts to rip to the upside and altcoins calm down, well, that might be, probably the one way where the crypto market is very, very focused on just, driving up Bitcoin, because it is the most overlooked trade and most underappreciated trade. So that's kind of my thought process on BTC, is if we start seeing a rip in the market in BTC, I think I would say with a pretty high probability that Bitcoin is going to keep ripping higher, but most other altcoins are not going to make new highs. They're going to probably see a large consolidation or a retracement. Okay. Now, the other thing, on a daily basis, right? I mean, this is kind of really cruddy because by the end of the day today, the end of the trading day, we saw the ES, the S&P 500 futures just collapse. And they basically kind of put in equal lows down here. Tomorrow being Friday, I really don't think we're going to put in a new low because, I mean, typically Fridays are really not that bad. In the stock market world, I would expect maybe some sort of consolidation around here, or maybe we have a rebound candle. And if we have a rebound candle, then I expect BTC to tick up too. I think Bitcoin is going to move with the ES, in my opinion, with the S&P 500 index. The other bad thing about the ES is that, like I said before, we've broken the 50 MA, we've rejected this ascending trend line, and on top of that, you have this head and shoulders pattern that you can see: left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Not a good look. So as we go into Friday and maybe we go into next week, who knows what kind of pressure we might see in the S&P 500 and in also BTC. So that is part of my concern. Again, still cautiously, optimistic, but nonetheless, I still have my ADA hedge, which I'm just going to leave on for now because I really don't know what the market is going to try to do over the next few days. It might get a little bit rocky, up and down, up and down. But I'm going to try to do as much, digging and analysis to let y'all know what my thoughts are on the market. Okay. Really not a whole lot from Delphi Digital. They're just talking about NFTs here. I already told y'all some interesting stuff about these AVAX Bridge Apes. I pointed this out yesterday in my video. I'm pointing it out again today. I picked up a couple of these. Who knows if they do well or not, but they look cool. AVAX is kind of like Solana. It's a new network. Who knows? Maybe some of these do well, right? Because on the Solana ecosystem, you had a bunch of really good, successful NFTs really appreciate in value. Who knows? Maybe AVAX does the same, right? Let's see here. So we spoke about this already, which is, clear sign of big buyers on Bitfinex right here, defending price down here. If price does happen to come down further, I would figure that they're going to defend those levels. I'm not really certain that other exchanges are having big activity of buyers kind of stepping up to the plate. At least I have not seen any, but Bitfinex being one of the whale exchanges, clearly they're ready. So it's in my opinion, a good sign to see Finex kind of take charge on that. Okay, nothing else on the liquidation data front. We had a pretty calm day in the market. Again, we're sitting above the weekly open right here. Yeah, I think all things look good. We can now change up. Let's do this. Let's add our new monthly open that we have. Actually, let's go to hourly time frame. Let's go here. This is the October monthly open. Okay, so 43,801. You guys know very well the way we map out levels. Typically, I like to see where price is in relation to the monthly and the current weekly. Now, we're obviously just opening the monthly, so anything can happen by tonight or tomorrow. But trending down and getting rejected right at the open, not really a good sign. If we do start ticking down, question is, can we hold the current weekly open, which is around 43,166? Okay. I think other than that, that's pretty much it for levels. Volume wise, I don't really see anything special. I didn't see anything on the CBD data front either, right? I was looking at FTX futures here. Let's check that out. I really didn't see anything in terms of CVD or open interest. Let's check that out in a sec. Let's see here. FTX is definitely one of the premier exchanges that you want to keep your eye on the open interest and CVD here, just because they transact so much volume. They have such huge players on their exchange that you have to pay attention. Like, you cannot ignore them. One of the exchanges that I typically nowadays ignore is OKX, just because OKX was big in China. Huobi too. Like, they were big in China, but guess what? China is now having their shutdown, their bans and stuff, and I don't really see any reason to kind of keep a huge track on those exchanges. Okay. All right. So CVD, which is again, cumulative volume delta, you can see for the most part, a lot of sell pressure down here has taken place, but it's not trending down further and further. So what the market is kind of indicating here is, hey, we had selling, but the market refused to break these lows. This is, by the way, this CVD right here is the indication of selling happening, right? But this being price is showing you that we are refusing to break this 40K low. So that's a clear sign that the market does not want to break this low, at least not yet. All right. Cool. Let me see if there's anything on my front. On Twitter, this was pretty cool. There are now 3 DeFi protocols generating over $100 million in annualized revenue. I thought that was kind of amazing. This is really interesting stuff, especially DYDX. In this article right here, I think they mention some information about DYDX, some votes supposedly that are coming up. This was pretty cool too. The recent DYDX protocol definitely printed for several users. Basically, if you use some of these DeFi protocols, you get airdrops and you get good money sometimes. If y'all remember, for using AVAX like a little while back, you got these GB tokens. Remember, this is like $2,000 worth. So we all got these $2,000. All of us who utilize this AVAX bridge, the AVAX network. So all you really have to do sometimes is experiment, and you kind of get rewarded for stuff like that. So, and $2,000, $5,000, any free money is good money, right? So anyway, make sure you guys experiment. And like I said before, right, please do share your thoughts on the market. This is a community open to everyone, asking any question, posting any chart, any thought, right? There are no smart questions or dumb questions. There's just curiosity, and curiosity will in some way always be rewarded with more knowledge. And knowledge is, something that we can all use, especially in a space that's continuously growing so fast. All right. So again, we have September behind us. Monthly candles are looking a little bit suspect, but we're going to take it one day at a time. We'll see where the market goes. All right. I still remain spot long in my positions with a hedge. That's it. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll catch up soon. Cheers.